record. Whoa! Don't allow that. Hello, hello. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that sounds like volume's fine. I'll turn that section of the mixer on. And we are good to go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Keldio60 Plays Live. Today we're doing a more chill stream. And I'll switch to the scene that we are using today because it's not the typical scene. As you can see, it is a webcam. You can see my hands rather than my face normally. And you can see a couple kits, pieces of plastic in front of you. Today we're doing a model kit building. And specifically, we are going to be building this machine right here, which is the H2 Magnum from Gundam Build Divers. This is a kit I've actually purchased to do as my first kit here, alongside anything I did for, say, my father as a Christmas present, and it's not going to be anything, it obviously isn't going to be the Gundam that is, say, my starting scene that you typically see when I start my streams, which is the Exia from Gundam 00. You may notice I do have a Exia GN sword, but that thing, the kit that one's to is broken, so I will be doing another Exia at some point, just not in the future, and my Tiny Core Gundam. However, as you can see, I do have a couple a couple things scattered around the desk, so might as well go around. Starting with the things you can't see, to my left, I have a set of polycaps. This is the set of polycaps that came with this kit, despite using a different set of polycaps for a specific item that you will see later from a different kit, but obviously I have enough of those, so it doesn't matter. And 2 sets of clear parts, specifically that are designed for both the shields and the funnels. As you may notice, there's one missing here, and that's because I did cut one out to test one specific thing, because I originally also want to paint this kit, which will probably be done more so on my own time rather than on stream. And all I did was try to test out a metallic purplish gray, a grapish purple color on the kit. It's an okay sheen. I probably would need to repaint it at this point, though. It's a little bubbly in some parts. But other than that, I guess that should be out because I finally get to put it on something today. Other than that, you may notice the abundancy of Q-tips. The Q-tips tend to use with, especially with normal straight builds, with these. These are two fine tip Gundam markers, typically that I would use for panel lining. To use Core Gundam here, say on the back of the shield, there's a line right here. And you can see it's more so defined than, say, a little more defined than what you'd think it would look like. And that's because I ran the gray panel marker there while also cleaning up the outer area with a Q-tip. Now, also, depending on the kit, especially if I'm say making a second kit of a certain machine, I might try and spice things up, use, say, the black marker in a panel line on, say, white instead to give it a more burned look, like it's been a little weathered there. Other than that, we got some nippers. These will be used to cut parts out from the runner. A couple sets of different types of files. I tend to only really use this one, which is a more flat-headed one, and maybe, just maybe, this triangular one. On most kits, you can see a screwdriver here. Not for this kit. There are a couple kits, especially within I believe the perfect grades, that would require the Phillip head screwdriver. And if I were to say high grades, there is a high grade that requires screws. I don't own it because it's the Psycho Gundam, which I don't think they make anymore. Other than that, I got an X-Acto knife. Also, to trim any extra nub marks down. And a couple extra different files, mainly more so for polishing than sanding. And I also have 3 different sheets of sanding paper that I have yet to take out of the box that you see in front of you. All 4 different types of sheets for use. In front of me is, if I move the camera, this will be better. You can see a compressor for an airbrush. We won't be painting today, so sorry to get anybody's hopes up on that. And I also have here the instructions for the H2, which you'll see me move a couple times so that I can see better on where I'm doing things. So it doesn't need to be so high up. This is essentially where this paper towel is where you're seeing things. The only other thing, also similar to the airbrush and not being used, is a dropper that I used for paint. I just re-cleaned it out due to an accident when I was making the RX-0 Maru, also from Build Divers, where one of my whites ended up I forgot to stir the paint before picking it up, and a lot of it a lot of the paint shards just came up in and left me unable to use it for a while. And a couple of my some of my paint canisters that I would use paint nozzles for the actual airbrushes are a little screwed. Thankfully, the paint doesn't stay, and the actual bottles don't affect anything, but they are there. And that's pretty much it for things I'm going to be using. So, let's get started. I did cut one piece out just trying to test my range due to the fact that my mic doesn't let me sit really close to the desk. So I'm at an angle a little further back from where I can see the actual kit really well when I'm cutting really well. So I might be doing the safe hand approach a lot today. And if you know the machine well enough, you can tell this is the chest part. It's easy to figure out where this piece goes without messing up too much. But my first order of business is this runner. One of these, a specific one of these polycaps. Specifically, it says, 14. Which is one of these polycaps. You probably won't see me cut too much from the runner on screen. But this is the polycap. Let me bring that down a little. Sorry if that didn't focus properly. It's a light source. Using a desk lamp as a light source. It's really small. You probably can't tell that this is a polycap. But what I'm holding, that's fine. Put that over to the side. And then I need runner D. That's K1. There's D. And specifically, I need D3. I have it upside down, but I can figure out which part it is. D3 is this piece here. But other than that, this is mostly a chill stream, just me relaxing, building something I haven't been able to build yet, and talking to you guys in chat when things going on. Maybe going somewhat into the details of this specific kit. The kits I'm build, especially in the more recent days, this will be something I'll do a little more sporadic, mainly due to the fact that I don't have a lot of kits that are still not built for the most part. I mean, I have a couple, but it's not done. Okay. This is a little sketchy, to say the least. And then I need D4, which was the part right next to it. It's not as... I think the reason you don't do D4 first is because it isn't as deep as D3 for the polycap. Then again, it looks just the same, just the opposite side. So I don't know. Probably could interchange doing D3 and D4, just know you're doing it on the opposite side. There's a couple, like, miniature marks that didn't finish. Next, I need PC6 and A14. A14 is the big piece in orange right there. And polycap 6 is the typical double ball joint neck that you would see on a lot of high grades. If you're wondering what I'm doing, there's a small bit of a nub mark on the kit. Polycap 6 is one of my easier things. It's up here, and because it's a polycap, I just roll it off. Hold to the back. With the square to the bottom, and then okay, that's fine. I do need to actually trim that down though. And we do. Just try not to hit the actual part. Uh, scratched up the paint on the back a little. Do I really do this now? I mean, if it's a small amount of paint and just used for correctional purposes, nah. Too much effort. I don't have any water in any cups to finish. And where does this piece go? I have a feeling it goes in the polycap. Yep. It's interesting. Oh, did I put this on wrong? Nope. It's weird that this thing flips. Oh, it flips out. Okay. That makes a little more sense. Next parts are A7, which is not the part I cut out, and A11 and A10. I mean, that's fileable, but I might need the the smaller ones. But you may have noticed that I didn't cut these pieces off fully, and that's where the X-Acto knife comes in. Actually, just leave that there. Ooh, I did not cut that perfectly. And then this piece up here definitely needs the that's filed down as much as I can go without damaging the rest of the kit's integrity. Here's the next. Okay, so next, so 11's on this side, 10's on this side. I'm making that distinction now so that I can put those specific parts on each side. That one marked actually really easily. Ooh. This is not a fun spot. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, though. The issue with this currently is that the purple parts tend to mark up real easily from what I hear, and I'm experiencing that. This is 10. 10's on this side. Gotta make that distinction early. Okay. And part fell down. Okay. So, again, because that's how we do things, is we just keep going over. Okay. And then the polycaps we need are are the polycap number 1s. Polycap 1s are the easiest ones to find because they're literally on every runner. And it's these types right down here. Except for these two. These two are polycap 2s, and those are ball joints. Designed to be ball joints. Ah. And this is why it's on each side. There's a gap between the two pieces. There's enough of a gap between on the underside. Oh. Was I supposed to... Ah, oops. Let's fix that. No, I didn't even bring out that piece. What happened was, it specifically says to do it the opposite way, so it's upside down. So the flat edge is towards the main piece. Is essentially what I just fixed. And, I mean, I didn't really need it because it was a polycap and it's not like two pieces of plastic. Because the plastic, getting some of these pieces of plastic apart are horrendous in that chore at times. And I believe it is, yep. Snap that in. Oh, shoot. Oh, I think I know where the thing is. In here. If you're wondering what I'm looking for, I had opened this thing beforehand. Is the thing? Yep. There it is. Quick, easy, simple. If you're wondering what I just pulled out, that's its sticker sheet. It's mostly foils. The next part requires a foil, and that's because it's DH2, and it has a giant letter A in the center chest piece that I'm about to cut out. We're circling around this part. So, first is A. We need, surprisingly, that piece is in orange. It's A15. which it here looks like one of these. I never actually finished watching Age. I tried watching Age and couldn't get into it as much as I did some other franchises. I mean, I guess it's been a while. I got into Gundam very weirdly, and by very weirdly I mean uniquely should be the term. I got in. A friend of mine in middle school and proceeding into high school. As far as I'm aware, we're still good friends. Just haven't talked in a while. Are like the anime Code Geass, and I ended up coming across it through other things and watching into that, and we somewhat talked about that. He didn't really get me into what would be Gundam though. I would end up getting into Gundam due to the idea of, music videos and people making music videos for songs. The song I searched up for Code Geass to see how well people edited it together was "This Is War" by 30 Seconds to Mars, which is a really good song. The only one I was able to ever find ended up being a mashup between Code Geass and Gundam 00. And I should note, Gundam 00 is my first Gundam. I initially thought the Gundams, probably like most people would see them, were Optimus Prime. Because I was raised a lot on the original G1 Transformers. Like, I mean, literally raised on the G1 Transformers. Because, and I'll say this, I know, I've said this a bit on, say, some of my friends' streams and whatnot. I never actually watched SpongeBob. I know of SpongeBob. I never got into SpongeBob. Why? I was raised literally on Transformers and Nickelodeon and PBS Kids and all that. Jazz that I never really. Well, SpongeBob is Nickelodeon, so I was raised more so on, say, early morning Disney, early morning, and throughout the day. Then it would be Cartoon Network or PBS Kids, especially when I was younger. So I never really watched a lot of Nickelodeon. I know of, meaning I never really saw Danny Phantom or any of that. I do know of them and I've seen more of Danny Phantom than I've ever seen of SpongeBob. I'll put that out there now. I couldn't tell you anything, but I did watch a lot of that. Okay, next I need A38 and 39. 38 and 39 are the two vents on the sides. And are in yellow. But, so, because I've been watching a lot of Transformers, I initially thought, because it kind of showed more so of Exia than, anything else in that thing, I thought it was something Transformers related. Found it. However, it obviously said it was with Gundam 00, so I searched that up and started watching it. And personally enjoyed watching it. Oh god, this is gonna be a nightmare for days. Okay, never mind. That's a little better. Right as I start complaining, it goes on just nicely. Essentially, the vents are going around a like square peg. Which is kind of stupid, but also it's a little brilliant, but also a little stupid. Where did I put the exacto knife? Right over here. And I just lost the casing, the lid again. I really need to do that on. That's why. Oops, that was why I was doing it on the thing. Wrong way. That's the way. There we go. And then, oh, those parts are supposed to be black. The actual thing on the interior of the vents are supposed to be black. I don't care. I don't care enough. The only part of the that sheet of stickers that is not a foil seal. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, nope. Okay. Oh. Just trying to clean up some of these spots. Especially where they look like they kind of fit. I do have two more pieces, and that's A8, which is the backpack unit, as well as D7. However, if I really wanted to, I could do have a couple extra parts that I could put on the back end of this. If I so chose to. Especially due to a certain other machine. From what it looks like, D7 also has no stickers. So essentially, if you want a different backpack on this guy, if you're customizing it, you'd take this piece off. And then it's a standard two 30mm pegs on the back end. Is how that one works. My next thing is D7. And it clips in the exact same, it clips right in the back. And upside down. Goes in. Now, and this is the torso of the Gundam. Now that that's over, this is when I tend to start doing things with the piece that I've just finished. And what I mean by that is, let me see if I can scoot in a little more, because I definitely need to scoot in to see what I'm doing for this piece. Don't mind that. That piece of cardboard is what I typically use as a shield when it comes to airbrushing. Because I can't reach here. I didn't realize this piece was actually pretty bad. Try not to damage the rest of the kit too much. I didn't realize A15 here had a huge ass nub mark. Sorry about that. Okay, that's good. But once I'm done with a part, I tend to start panel lining it. which, as I said, is just starting to run, say, the marker in small indentations on the kit. That I feel, especially, leaves a good indication of the machine's character. Honestly, say that vent that's supposed to be black, the vent interior that's supposed to be black, I'm going to actually just ink it with this panel marker. And there we go. The vents are black. Simple, easy cheating tool for that sort of thing. That part we just put in has a couple of spots down here. It's kind of hard to tell though. The wing portion of the backpack definitely would love some panel lining. And obviously, if I feel like I've inked enough, then comes out the Q-tip, and I start wiping away any excess that I might have left. Typically, the order goes black on your like dark colors, so black, blue, purple, gray. Gray you typically do on white, and then you typically would like brown on orange and red. Unfortunately, I do not have a brown marker, panel lining marker, so that is kind of outside my reach. And as you can see, the Q-tip is starting to fray due to any like small imperfections that might be there due to, say, nub marks or anything. So you can tell if something's a little clean or not by how your Q-tip is doing. And then also, it just sprays. It still does fray due to the condition, due to the unique curvatures of the machine. Still got a couple extra areas right under the wings, on the outside right here. Back here. And I think that's good. Oh, at least for the black marker currently. Let's clean that off. Any excess, because I kind of don't want the burnt look. I mean, if I really, really wanted to get this looking completely clean, I would also try to get in the inside of here, but I know I can't do that, so. No, that's a stress line. That's a creation line. That's not even a panel line. So, I mean, you could make it to where that's a forged line right there, but say using like brown rather than black on the purple. But I don't have brown, so I'm not going to do it. It's right where the nub mark is, so I can tell that's a stress mark from the kit being on the runner. Okay, now. Actually, I should probably still use black on orange here. Yeah, I'll use the black on the orange parts. Since I, as I said, don't have brown. And I still want these parts panel lined. And I messed up a lot, which with the marking will give me a decent like burn look on some of these areas. But you also may have noticed that I used the Q-tip to push down on the A sticker onto the A portion of the chest piece. And that's a good way of, say, using the Q-tips as well to help you perfectly align a sticker. If that, I only need one more thing, and that's the gray. Gray, I typically, since orange is the darker of the two, then I use gray on yellow, because yellow, I think, is also a brown color. And there is a couple good panel mark spots on the this tiny collar in the center. I'll use a new Q-tip. This also lets me test the somewhat functional range of the polycap as I mess with it, which is always good. Knowing the range of the motion of the kit's movement is good so that you don't over stretch something. Got these two in this area. Definitely has a lot more definition. You probably can't see it without me putting it like right here, though. Definitely can see it right back here. The purple is dark enough where you might not see, and the yellow might be in spots you can't really see where I panel lined. But that's fine. Now we have a chest and a funnel. And technically I could do this with the funnel. Currently that's probably the best way I can store it. Yeah, especially since I don't have a 3mm peg on the bottom yet. And that's going to be something I tend to do a little differently. I'm going to just put that out there. Once I have the head and the chest, I tend to go waist and waist next. So that I can get those the central piece done. And I'll remove this piece from the stand. Since I don't really need to use this currently, I will move that out of the way. Put that away. And I will see if this... Throw that away. Nope. I'll just stack it. Push that back a little. I'll put the fang on, the funnel on top. And there we go. That way, as I put parts together, you can still see them as I'm working on, say, other parts. Okay, there we go. Move those over. Next is the head. I need A18, A12, and D1. I'll get D1 because that's where it all centers on. A12 does require a sticker. I bet you can all guess from the sticker sheet that I never brought up. God dang it. Which sticker that is. Because it's obvious. If I'm working on the face, the only sticker that they probably lend is the eye. Well, there's another sticker, and that's for the head camera, but, you know. Secondary. That is considered secondary. There's D1. Next, I need... For some reason, this A12 is actually molded in... or maybe it's on purpose, is molded in orange. Well, it would be instead of the typical red, mainly due to the fact that it is orange on this kit. Okay, I'm going to take a small break to apply this sticker, because this sticker, I kind of want to put it on correctly. Oh. So in case you're wondering what I'm actually doing with the Q-tip, it's especially for the face, the eyes are technically out a little more. So using the Q-tip, I can also have it start pushing down and outlining the eye spots to make it pop a little more. It's a small good tactic to do, in case you're worried about putting it in the wrong spot. Fortunately, I think technically, if you want to put at least make the thing a little moist, wet a little bit, just to make sure you can move it around before you want it to set properly. Is another great tip I can give. Okay. And then, as I said, I also need A18, which is a white part, and is the small, like, mask part of the Gundam. The more so iconic mouth part of the Gundam. Which ends up also helping clip A12 into D1. Probably can't see that. Let me grab my other tweezer. Looks good. Nope, no real panel lining on this kit though, unfortunately. Next I need A35, A34. These are the back head portions of the kit, with A2 going into the back portion of 34. And these are typically the ones I tend to have issues with. I only have the one and it's on the side here. There, that's better. Oh, it just hangs on it. Okay. This one actually came out a lot cleaner. And as I said, A2 is supposed to go into or sticker number 2. I'm trying not to damage the damn seal. The damn foil. head camera seals are probably my least favorite stickers. They're so small and it's easy to misplace them and damage them. Now there are a couple of extra parts in this kit. Technically. And it's only a small part. Because the headpiece is different. I need K1 this time. Oh. I'm like, why did I hear my TV turn on? And it's like, oh, it's still on. I thought I turned it off. No, that's fine. This specific machine has a new unique purple portion of its head. Of the head. Oh, I still also need D2. There we go. Obviously, sticker 1 goes into that piece, and I also need 2. Oh, I need D2, not that one. Okay. D2 is just a small cap piece that's designed to go on the back of the head. A little plain, but it does the job well enough. Sticker 1, my god, I hate you. You're this small black sticker with a small green foil in the center. Man, I need to kinda use you. It's essentially a head camera version of the other A sticker that you saw me use earlier. There we go. And actually, that one went on a lot better than I was expecting it to. Surprisingly, the head here is actually the least, doesn't have the typical V-fin because this is the V-fin. Oh. Dang it. As you saw, the polycap tends to come out of the chest first before the head piece. Obviously what I'm about to do is panel line the head. But I would suggest if you're doing model kits, you get like one of these giant boxes that have a lot of things because you can get one of these as well. Obviously, especially if you play with Legos, you know kind of what this thing is. It's a part separator. In case you need to, say if I needed to remove the V-fin piece, that would be it. And you might be wondering, what do I mean by there is a part of this kit well, there's a couple polycats that aren't used, but there is a part in the kit that's not used. Well, the part in the kit is on A1. This part 1 is part 36. It's the last possible part. It's the original V-fin headpiece slash V-fin of the Age 2 that this kit's originally based on. We'll start with gray because gray is white is technically the more important of our two of our spots. This tends to be the part where I do essentially everything in one go. Fortunately, I did not put anything in the back portion of these vents on the sides of the head. I should have stopped before I put the antenna on. Now I can't clean them up, but that's fine. Don't need that much gray, actually. And it's mainly due to the V-fin that I need a lot of extra. That looks nice. Obviously, there's technically a piece I can cut off here. There's a couple of like mini safety, well, depending on the V-fin, there are a couple of safety nubs to keep you from poking yourself with the V-fins. Because depending, especially on higher model kits, those things are kind of pointy. Higher grade kits, because of the quality of them, are a little more pointy. Granted, it's a safety reason, so I am not opposed to it. It's just because while these kits do say 15 and up, I wouldn't be surprised if a parent let their young child start watching Gundam for no reason. I mean, that's essentially Gundam Build Fighters and Build Divers. I'm gonna say that now. That's essentially those two franchises as a whole. Because some of those kids, I feel like, wouldn't be playing Gundam. Watching Gundam at their ages. I didn't say anything, so, I missed a couple. No, I got those spots. Okay. And with that, the head is now complete. Can do that. It can do that. And it can tilt down like this. But that's part of the transformation. And isn't really necessary at the current moment in time. Uh, 2 seconds before I change parts to the waist section of the Gundam. And put that out. Okay. I forgot to at least put out that I was doing this. Okay, the next section. Why are we really? Why is the waist like the last thing in the book? Like, you'd think the waist would be one of the first things you do. I mean, I think the real grades actually start you on the weight, either the legs or the waist, and make you build up. Okay, so because of how I'm doing this, this also means certain runners will be done before other runners will. But I need D31, polycap, and polycap 7. D31, in case someone's building alongside me, and I'll question why, because I'm a bad teacher, and this sort of thing. Is why. But part 31, D31 looks like this piece right here. It's a waist unit. It seems to be one of your typical waist units for this era. And you'll want polycap 7, which looks like a mini dumbbell. I leave the polycaps. I tend to leave the polycaps over here because it's a polycap. But actually, that head's kind of loose. Might be my only detriment with it, though. And you put it straight down into the small section that's perfectly put left there for it, if you can line it up properly. What I tend to do in instances like this, if I'm having issues, at least lining it up, put the tweezers around it, and then get it in, and then push it down. Where it starts sliding, then push it down, and if I need to, rotate it. And then I need D34, which is the second piece. Just so you know, the front is this portion right here. Yes, prepare that. Next up, as I said, D34, which is up on the top end. And technically, I can also chop out another piece right now, because it's technically not needed for what I'm doing. And part 34 goes on like this. This piece goes down here. And that part is, and the extra part that I need to cut out is D35. If you're wondering why I'm cutting out D35 when the instruction book doesn't say, D35 is this piece. This piece is only used for the transformation into Phoenix mode. I don't need it. I currently don't need it, but I don't want to leave it on the runner because it is a transformation piece. So I will put that in here for future reference. And then, because of this, I need PC14. PC14 is the second one of is the second and last one of the two that we used for putting the other piece on. And you will want the square bottom pointing into A16. A16 obviously is another one of those fancy white parts, which appears to be a piece for I might actually move where I'm leaving this too far down. There we go. And the square appears the square bottom goes into A16, while the more curved end goes straight into the actual waist unit. Try not to break the piece. Okay. Next up, we need K1 again, which is that giant purple sheet. And we're gonna do a little DIY, because we need 19. 19. You also still need A, so if you wanted, while you still had A out, to cut 41 and 40, do so, but I, as I said, tend to do things weirdly. Didn't think of that. Okay, the DIY I'm referring to, because this is the front skirting armor. I'm just gonna pop that off. And then pop that off. All I did was make these, the side skirt, two separate pieces, so that one side skirt can go up while the other one stays down. If you don't want that and want both to go up at the same time, that's your decision. I'm not gonna blame you. Does make the pieces a little more loose because it's only those two ball joints now. And you need 41 and 40, which are these two yellow pieces. 40 goes on the right. Well, the left, the side skirt that will be on the left. The 41 will go on the side skirt that will be on the right portion of the Gundam. I tend to spin a lot of the parts if they're in that, like, in between two gates, because it tends to not leave as much of a nub. And not ruin the plastic a lot. Then there's small instances like here where it did leave a decent mark, where I didn't cut properly on the one side. And then you just push down on the in, and then you want A17 and A13. A17 is a piece that I've actually already cut on accident. Because of how I've cut them, these two pieces now go in separately. And now this piece goes on the front end of the waist unit. Like so. And then A13 is a small orange piece where all the other orange parts were on the A runner. Honestly, if you want to, you can actually cut the different colored runner pieces off and clips into the center of this thing. And if you look closely, there are two small indentations, say for panel lining. Those point down. However, we are not done because we still have the back skirting armor, which requires A9, which is this giant piece, A37, this yellow piece, and A6, this piece. We'll cut out A9 first because it is the base portion. More so base where everything will reconnect at. The only time that thing doesn't work is like real grades and like that have like undergating. And I honestly will never get another real grade again. I have a vendetta with those things because they've always I've had too many issues with the real grades. Even kits that people say are like the best out of the real grades, I've had issues with. So, and if you're wondering, honestly am referring to the lovely real grade unicorn, where straight out of the box it didn't like me. I'm missing a piece of side skirt, ankle armor, and a couple other pieces, and it doesn't like to transform either. You know, the staple of the Gundam unicorn. And that's about it. A small amount of color separation down here. And then you just push that in on the back end. And it's semi-premium because most high grades do not have a moving butt flap. This one does. And then the last thing, the second to last thing, well, one of the couple last things we need to do is take polycap 2, taking one of these two polycaps, bulk joint polycaps, and sticking directly on the top of part 34 from earlier. You can skip to this right automatically if you feel like it. I don't blame you, because that's obviously where it's supposed to go. Wow, that stands up actually really well. The next things, you'll want A1, P13, and A32, or 23. 22 is the other side. If you're wondering what these pieces are, this is for the side skirting armor. You want A1, A3, and PC13. A23 and PC13. A3 covers where these pieces go on A1. And like the head unit, there are a couple pieces on this bottom portion. So with this piece out, you want this piece facing out. And just like as I was saying on the head, there is another section on the waist unit that is in the original H2 color, and that is the front skirt. It is in white if you wish to change that up. So you choose, because obviously you might not. I need to remove polycaps. One of the polycap 7s, it was about to fall off. And polycap 7, if I'm not mistaken, will be going in the lay. That's a foot polycap, so don't lose that if you're like me and have one falling off. Oh, it's double-sided, so it doesn't matter. And these pieces can rotate on the axis given. They can't, as far as I'm aware, can't rotate backwards though, so note that. They don't rotate backwards. If you have the special variant of the H2, and I don't mean the special color variant that came with H-Breaker, New Gundam Breaker, there is a white variant that comes with a couple extra, like side skirt armor and all that, and a extra like funnel system that is used in the anime. That specific variant, obviously, is actually a really good. If you're using that, just note that those are going to be your new. Just know that those are going to be your new side skirts. And I think they keep these side skirts there. So if you want to, say, build a custom kit, you can use them later. Well, not really, because you don't really have the right polycaps or right waist armor, unless you chose to use that specific machine as a replacement for a different machine, which is partially what I've done. Ah, I have apparently gone offline. Uh, how I went offline is beyond me. I'm not doing anything other than putting a Gundam together. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I have my phone on a charger due to bad batteries that should hopefully be fixed tomorrow. The last piece of the waist I should note is D32 plus D33 if you need D33. I don't. And this is where the legs will attach to the body, as well as the stand that you may use with this. D32 is this. Oh, it's you. Of course it has to be you. My worst nemesis. Okay, D32 is this small T-piece that you might be seeing in my hand currently. This will actually... This is D32. This, you may have remembered before I started, say, my YouTube stuff and actively streaming, I did a model kit build of the 007 sword. Specifically, a couple parts that were newer to this machine because I had already built the 00 riser. Why had I bought that machine is due to that kit is due to this part right here. You can see differently from this one, the top piece broke. It's actually longer on this piece, but it also broke on this piece. D2 is one of these variant parts where this part can break. It's also due to the fact that that part actually never broke. One of the side pieces that held onto the legs broke due to sitting on a stand for so long. For a bit. But due to how this one actually has a rocking mechanism, I doubt that's an issue here. Okay, let's start panel lining, because I need a panel line something. Or, in this case, a lot of things. This is... there's a stress mark right there. Super, like, small details on these side skirts. Front skirt. Armor. Back skirt definitely has the most room of the bunch. Sorry if you're not really being able to see this. It's due to the fact that I can't really see and just trying to make sure I get the right spots. So I'm on purple, so you're not really going to see where the parts actually, the colors actually appearing at, too. Sorry, I actually rammed my headset, my headphones into my microphone. There we go. That should be done. Uh, let's do the back portion of this piece because that's a long enough piece where people can see it. Let's take this one and put it down. After this, I'm gonna have to bid it farewell. It's a little too much. It's frayed too much for to continue using it, especially now. I just lost fluff off of it due to a piece of extra a extra nub mark that I didn't see, but it's still there. This is the only part I'm going to be panel lining out of in gray on this piece. There's not really much else to panel line on this portion of the side skirt armor. I'm not going to paint the part that's on, or panel line the part that's on the inside area just because I don't feel like it. But fortunately, I feel like I need to get a new gray panel liner, though. If you're wondering where you can get kits like this, I actually got this at my local Barnes and Noble. It seems to be a good Barnes and Noble seems to be a good place for at least newer kits. If you're looking for other kits, maybe something slightly older, I would probably suggest Amazon. I got a good number of my kits there, including my first master grade, which was the 00 Quanta Full Saber. And because now I only have the arms and legs now, and the extra portions of the backpack, we can put the H2 on this stand now as we continue to work on it. And we can attach this spare funnel to the side portion of the thing. Hopefully I don't knock it down. As I said, this is the reason why this type of waste unit is the reason why I had to get a new 00 Gundam. Okay. Now we can typically do either one in order, in any order. So I'm going to go back and do the arms now. Since typically what I would do is, let me fix this fold, is do legs first, then waist, then torso, then arms and head. Okay, right arm. I need D and P1. Obviously, if I'm referring to P1, it's that piece. And we still have the weapons to do, because I'm not leaving the weapons out of this machine. Okay. What piece did I need? I need like D3. No, D13. Okay, D12. Because D13's a cap piece. An literal cap piece. Well, D12 is a more defined piece with a peg that you can ground on. Oh, you screwer. I want the, yeah, I figured as much. You want the flat portion of the polycap facing out. Obviously, if you're good enough, you can also start doing the left arm because it's literally the opposite portion, so the exact. The shoulders are typically the same parts, just the opposite. I don't need the transformation pieces. Honestly, why? I'm surprised you don't use the this as the leg part. I assume it has something to do with the side skirts not being able to cover this because it covers up the entire waist portion. But I would say this, if you don't want to accidentally break something, that might be your preferred thing because you actually have to switch out the older waist portion that is currently on the thing with that. If my worst fear didn't want to come true, it just did. I don't want to get the other H2. Well, I do, but I want to get the actual SV portions for the it and the Double O Sky. Ah, we finally have a new portion of the kit. J. These are also going to be the same on both kits because they decided, hey, we're just going to print two of the same exact runner and just call it two different names. A1 or J1. This one's actually not level on the two sides. And then J2, which clips on like so. If I can line up that piece. And then we go back to K1 and K5. K1, K5, K6. K1, 6. Are the parts. Actually, 2 seconds. Well, we still have J out. Which... it's on the other back piece. While I still have J out, I'm gonna do one other piece. Because I have to use the same parts anyways. For this portion of the kit, so it's easier to just do this now. So the part I'm gonna be messing with, for those wondering, is J8. J8 might obviously look questionably familiar due to what part it is. Obviously, if you recognize that, you can tell that it is one of these, what is referred to as the Shigeru Shield of the kit. I thought, hey, we're already on this one, and we're going to go through both of them, as well as go to K1, which also has the other piece of the same exact thing. Might as well do it now. Do I have any? Yep. I have an eye cloth. Eye fit cloth that you can use. I'm going to use to, say, polish this specific piece. Please read this if you've ever heard the term DMCA in that order. It's DMCA in that order. Okay, so for the parts that the book is actually telling me to get, I need A1, K1, which is this piece. Do I have a second one of these? Yeah, it's all the way in the back. However, it's referred to as K2. But we're going to have to use that one on the next one. Anyway, so it matters not. Then we have K5. If I can... Oh, I didn't unclip it all the way. I missed a piece. So with this piece out, I need to go there? And then this piece goes right here. Obviously, if you're understanding where this is going, these are the F funnels points, which I can also quickly finish because I have the other part. The other, like, 4 parts for that. I just need to figure out which extra piece that piece is. Oh, this piece requires, like, actual paint. Like, this is the piece that requires a lot of paint. You can definitely tell on camera these, like, many white parts that I can point at. Or nub marks that you definitely need to pick. Okay, what was the other piece I need? K11. And obviously, the manual only speaks of this one. Technically, the other one is spare parts. However, who doesn't want two of the same nice looking shield? Just saying. I think it actually is used twice. Well, there's the Shakira shield, only K11, J, or L, L2, and one of J8s. Done. However, we can also do the second F funnel at this point, which is K1 free, K1 4, and L1 with D16. Oh, it's actually off D with K8. Which, if you saw, is the other side. So, we're gonna do all these now because we don't... If we get these all done now, then we don't have to do them later. It's 8. Obviously, the only weapon we're not gonna build during this, like, quick sessions are gonna be, like, the Magnum, which is the Magnum, and the beams. Well, the beam sabers are easy. Literally just bind them and cut them out. Oh. This piece also needs to be removed. Yay. So the handle for the F funnels has a, like, mini nub that's not attached to anything. You definitely need to cut that off. And that is a very minor nub mark. Okay, so next I need K3. Note, the thing gives you like 3 of these things. So let's give you 4 of these things in case you screw up. I'm sorry. I was about to say F up, but you know, I did catch myself, but it was a little too late, so. Hang on. Is this in wrong? Oh, yep. I had it flopped. No, you technically can put these pieces in at any point for the F funnel, but it says technically to do it now, so we're gonna do it in now. And for those wondering, it's hard to see, but there are 2 rungs in the plastic of K3. You put this piece in the second one. If you can get it in. This is actually tighter than my original. The original. The one you've seen already. And the nippers fell into my shoe. I'm wearing flip-flops currently. Probably not the best option. And obviously, for the other parts, just make sure that it follows the curvature of the L piece. Is essentially what you have to pay attention for. And obviously, D16 is like 5 of these things, and they're all variants on. Actually, I would say PC14 is technically what they are. It's either PC1, PC or PC14. I don't think the other variant form of PC1 is on here. Yeah, no. Yeah. PC7 could technically be a variant 1. That could be it. And obviously, casing, done. And this goes on here. And now back to the actual right arm. In contention, we need D6, PC11, D9. Obviously, I'll do the rest of the shoulders later. I also just wanted to get this runner out. That's now trash. So D10. There's like, there's no mistaking which one this is. And you need PC. Oh, I hate PC11. And not for the reasons of the other one. It's not as bad as what you're thinking. I'm complaining about it isn't that bad. Let's put the painted one up on the outside because obviously it's the painted one. And I also need D9, which is right across from it. And it's also a rotating one after cutting one other runner piece off. PC11. You give me so many of these things, though, so. Only for me not to use 2 of them. And you're... Okay. then fall all the way down. It's only used to become a socket for D9 to actually fit in. And then it's not even used? Okay. The next thing doesn't even call upon that piece. Okay. Next we need A28, PC10, and PC5. 28 is, we're probably using, yep, PC, or A27 as the casing unit. Yep. So if you want to cut out A27, do so now. As well, do so. But this might be a slight, I'm gonna just stop paneling at least for tonight's stream. I maybe should stop going off course because we're getting close to done here. No. PC10. Which is a mini square one that is also used as a this is the part that I just want to finish. And then we need 5. This is the lower arm. And you actually do have to cut at least a portion off. It's not like some of the other PCs that are just falling off as soon as you get the piece. Which way do I want it? Okay. You want the, more so like clip end facing outwards. You want the whole piece to point towards A28. And then I'm going to trim this up. I'll panel line this sucker later. Then obviously, with the one part facing down, and with the more, the whole pointing outwards. There's a piece of the gate sticking up like a sore thumb. You put this piece in, the hole facing towards A28. Then you need K1 again, and you're going to use it as a, the piece you're looking for is essentially an arm skirt. It's an arm guard part. It's literally the second part on the thing. I assume K2 could also be used here because it's not a mandatory thing. It's weird that it's forcing me to do this now and it doesn't want to go on. There we go. I'm not putting it on right. Okay, next is A26 with another PC11. Essentially, 4 of the PC11s out of the 6 given are going to be used. 2 on each arm. Might at least just do one leg, one arm, and just end the stream like that. Because you don't need to see both arms. You don't need to see both legs. You don't need to see 4 F funnels be put together. How do I want to put this in? And then you want to put this piece in first, with then the shoulder piece going in second. And then you want D18 and A31, which is the handpiece with which is a handpiece with a guard on the back. That's all that is. And I'll go over how I typically stream. Wait, what time is it anyways? It's only 9:28. It's only I did start a little early, so I might actually extend time a little. Only a little though. I forgot I started the stream a little early. Normal, that's fine. Not that I'm too concerned about that. Where is... I chucked D all the way to the other side of my futon chair. And what did I say I needed? 18? Yeah, 18. Essentially cut the one closest to the thumb and then spin it because it's a ball joint. Plus, the runner won't care anymore. Says, I surrender. And obviously, this is the right arm, so it automatically goes on the right shoulder. Polycap in onto thing. And this. I notice it seems like these might loosen up with age. Just saying. Because the armor part, the painted one is definitely looser than the newer one, which is not as loose. So keep that in mind. However, next we're doing the A leg. In fact, it's so uncanny that we're doing the leg that it's literally the same part. Oh wait, no. Technically, it's the feet and then the the leg. Yeah, we'll do the legs and the gun. Okay, so I need this J. I need J5. There's a top piece, and then you can spin it off. Ooh, actually, that's not the PC I was thinking you'd use. It's a different PC. The PC we're using is 8. It's the cup one, not the, normally when I see a leg joint, I think it's the... This might actually... No, because that's not a ball joint. That's a peg style one, so... I don't know. My next PC is... PC, I say. It is actually not a PC, but it's hard plastic, but D5, which is essentially another D10. Why they didn't just give you 2 more D10s is beyond me, especially since you don't need number 9 on the PC thing. Oh. And where does this one go? Front center right here. But I was gonna try actually talking about other things other than just pointing things out. At the beginning of the stream, I was originally going to talk about the H2 a little, despite the fact I'd never watched H, where the base mobile suit came from, which is obviously the H2, the successor to the H1. It is the primary suit of Kyoya Kujo in Gundam Build Divers, which is the champion, the current reigning champion of GBN at the time of the story. As far as I'm aware, he is still, I think, still in Build Divers Re-Rise, which is the current series. I'm not sure. 9. Is it 9? Yes, it's 9. It's 9. Okay. Just want to make sure I've got the right. Yep. But the H2 is technically a flight mobile suit that doesn't do the wing style transformation, where it's essentially just a Gundam resting on its thing with its on its chest with its knees curled up with its shield on its head. It actually does transform similar to the Zeta, where you're not going to see what it actually is. Oh. Oops, I put this on wrong. You also need K112, but it doesn't seem like it needs to be on first. It's just suggested that you don't put it on after the fact. Before the fact, you put it on the actual foot. Note these are all also on K2, so literally the same parts. In case I don't get around to doing the rest of the kit on stream. I want to finish this though, so which is kind of why I started a little bit more early. And next, you want K10. K10 is a little different, to say the least, because it has both the typical fold style and the spin style nubs. Hope I didn't cut off any extra nubs. Actually, that's actually pretty good. That left a bigger nub than I wanted. It's due to the fact this is also on a split, on a seam line. But this actually goes up that earlier piece, that the D10 piece or D5 piece in the foot. I feel like Why is this piece here? I assume that's part of the transformation. It's not out otherwise. Yeah, this piece is not going in. There we go. There we go. That's actually an interesting leg design. But the H2 is, as I was saying, a Zeta type flight changing mobile suit where it actually changes on the suit, on the basic suit model. The issue with that, somewhat, well, that's not an issue. That's more of a good thing. Well, the issue is that means it's a part former, where it is. So, do note that. Okay, this way. I need PC10. You will use up all 10, all 4 of the 10s, and another PC1. Which, oh, I'm missing a piece. I forgot to get D8 off the D runner, but I have to get another thing off D runner anyways. So it's not like I'm missing much. Or I don't, but I need to. D runner. You want the side ones because it's a peg on the bottom if you don't want to damage the peg. But the H2 is essentially a high velocity suit. Essentially, it's a high speed combat suit. Due to the flight form, it has a high mobility. And was piloted by Asamu. I do know names and stuff. I just never finished it. And Build Divers, as I said, Kiyoya Kujo, which is kind of funny that his last name is essentially the same as Lisa Kujo, which is Sumeragi Lee Noriega, and obviously Gundam 00. Kind of funny because then the main character's main machine is a 00 variant. All comes together like really well, jokingly well. As you swear, they probably weren't paying attention to when they first created the characters. Then again, Build Divers is, I think the director for Build Divers is the 00 guy. If I remember what I hear correctly. Then you need K18. But he is currently the champion with this suit due to its essentially with the minimalistic modifications he's made, which is he made it his own. Oh, I need J7. That's why it's not working properly. J7 goes all the way back into this piece. That makes more sense. Actually, it doesn't. Oh, I wasn't putting it on right. There we go. And then this piece goes down onto the foot. But, as I was saying, the main... He acts sort of as a mentor to main character Riku, as obviously he's a fan. Riku's a fan of Kiyoya and wants to be like him, a top level, Gundam pilot or diver, essentially Gundam pilot for toys, because they're all plastic models. Obviously, Kiyoya Kujo is top due to the fact that he's a skilled pilot, 1, and 2, based on decent amount of modifications to the H2. Because the H2 does not have some of these normal functions. Surprisingly, D25's already knocked off slightly. But, PC-15 goes into that hexagon. But, because part of it is he can, the F funnels help him with an all-range attack while also a zero-range attack because they're funnels and doubling as swords. He also has 2 beam sabers that I believe attach on the back skirt? The skirting armor? Oh, I still need the PC. And then I need D23 and D22. I need 12. Still no 7. It's weird that we have no 7. Normally we get a lot of D7. Actually, my god, we're almost done with the leg. It's not like it's that difficult. Most of it's on this runner. In fact, I'm going to get 2 of the extra pieces off now, which are 30 and 29, which require PC1 in front. But, as well as a high-powered beam rifle, which is a variant on the original DOS rifle, the Hyper DOS rifle from Gundam Age, which is a decently powerful rifle. Obviously gained Magnum probably from due to the fact that it is a more Magnum style rifle. But so which piece do I need? I need D23 and 22. Okay. You know, the parts that are right next to each other. Okay. That makes more sense. And this points down. And 23 is... I didn't ask for you, Siri. I just barely heard Siri speaking, and I'm like, I did not ask for you. I was talking to others. But, anyways, oh, do I have it? Yeah, I have it wrong. Oops. I had it upside down. At this point, it's... And then I need A25 and 24. Which are the same no matter which leg you're doing, so... They only have left and right just to figure out which spare pieces you need. If this the way it is, hey, okay. And obviously, as I said, the H2 does have additional weaponry if you have, I believe it's the SV equipment, and all of that is a second set of funnels that are rifles, and the skirting armor also has beam cannons in them. Because of course you need another beam cannon on this thing when you have the Hyper DOS Magnum at your disposal. Obviously square end out for the top piece, but it's an interesting suit. It definitely earned its reputation as a good, like be a like top tier suit when it can destroy a glitched out Devil Gundam. Because unlike Build Divers, unlike Build Fighters, Build Divers is a video game. It's a computer game MMO, an MMO styled video game. That essentially does the Nintendo Amiibo thing with Gundam, actual plastic Gunpla models. An interesting concept, to say the least. Can't make it too back heavy, and okay, there we go. There we go. It's at least sitting on one side. We'll finish making the left leg so that I don't need to stand anymore. But as I was saying, Build Divers is essentially a computer game, so it has bugs, it has glitches. People are trying to hack it because it's not the true way of playing Gunpla Battle, and it's a false world due to it essentially outplaying what is known as GP Duel, which is essentially the original Build Fighters, the original style Build Fighters stuff. I mean, I can see where the guy came from, but it's also like, what? Really gonna start this now? Oh, these are hand parts. I'm done with A until I, make the other hand. But and the first fight you see, the first fight you technically see with the H2 is against a grunt suit from an older series, a different series, led by the second highest rank force captain, who is a good rival of Kyoya's. Which piece do I need? Oh, I only need, D and A. Wait a minute. Oh, because I already cut off those D parts. I don't need them. Alright, A parts. So, D. I at least want to get both feet done. But, no. I want these two parts. And then I'll do the rifle. The rifle is definitely not the hardest part of this kit. If it were, I'd shoot myself. The rifle tends to never be the hardest part of these kits, and most rifles actually stay together unless it's the Project Evolution Zeta where it actually broke on me somehow, some way. Yeah, I'm sad. I've been through a number of kits. What's the other piece I need? Oh yeah, is it 9, 10? No, it's 24, 21. Weird that it's 24, 21 and not, the exact kit. Whatever. Okay, we have everything off the runner. Except, polycaps. But polycaps are easy to do. But essentially the second fight you ever see with the H2 is when Kyoya teams up with two new divers, Riku, the and his friend Yuki, while also talking with, showing their friend Momo the game. Because they wanted to do a serial battle, and he heard some a group of the hackers were not playing fairly in this when it came to the serial battles by coming in, stealing the mission from them. Uh, the last machine, it was uh, they were doing stuff based on the Death Army, so from Mobile Suit Fighter G, with the last two bosses. The first boss being Walter Gundam, and then the final being Devil Gundam. Uh, Essentially, the machine, except for one instance where he's kind of screwed up and had help to recover from, essentially mop the floor with the Devil Gundam. Then again, the Devil Gundam has a history of being utterly wrecked in standard gameplay, and Build Fighters and Build Divers at that point, because it got wrecked in the first season of Build Fighters as well. I should wait. But other than that, it's a decent enough show. Definitely gets a little heavy on the shonen style, power of friendship things you're probably used to seeing when it comes to that sort of stuff. So I won't dwell on it too much for you guys on that. But this is definitely one of the more interesting suits to come out of the series so far, even though it's literally most of the Build Diver suits are just rip-offs, essentially modified variants of their originals. So, like, the Build Diver Ace is essentially just the Double O again. With, like, minor new parts. That's about it. Okay, let's get started on the rest of these. I need 8. Anything else? Yes, PC1 and PC10. We're just gonna fly through this at this point, because I know where each of these polycaps go. Okay, now we have J again. Alright, well, we need D first, because I need D5 again. And K2, which we'll then start doing everything else with. Meaning we'll also need D16s. Oh, great. Where did that piece go? 2 seconds. I actually dropped one of the D16 pieces. That's not the D16 piece, but that's a side skirt piece of side skirting for the Earth-free Gundam. There's the extra D16 piece. Did I get D5 yet? No, because I, lost the D16 piece. And I also need D8. And we're good for the rest of the D currently, so all we need is J. Can I get this piece in? Thank you. This is D5, yeah. This is, I just pulled this piece off, that's why I remember it's D5. Make sure it's pointed straight down, and then put D6 on. But putting K10 on is not as much as an issue. I mean, I still technically need J for things, but I don't need it currently. I'm just going to go straight 10 first. Because, let's be honest, D10 is also the one, or K10 is the one that took me the longest time to do earlier. Nippers, because got these nip points to take care of. There we go. There's 12 there, and here comes 9 and 11. I said I wouldn't deviate anymore, and what am I doing? I'm deviating. It's not like it's a hard thing to do, though. It's literally just that, and I'm done. I still don't understand what these pieces are for. Traction? There we go. There's a couple sharp pieces on the foot, and shit that need to be clipped off. There we go. It's that. Actually, I could just finish this now and we'd be done with the funnels, but then I remembered, oh yeah, I have nowhere to put them. Which one was it? Isn't it free? Yeah, it's free. Top one's D10. Bottom one is the PC1. PC10, PC1. Then we need 4. I still technically do still need K, but not as much. Oh, I know what J6 is for. J6 is the crown piece of the rifle. If you don't know what I'm referring to, the rifle has a small, like, white section in the back end. This is what that white piece is for. That J6 is for. Or, no, J9. J6 is already on. There we go. Then I need K, and then we are done with this piece. Because the last part I need is 18. And then we're back on, I'll do the DOS rifle because I have at least a hand it can go in. The shields, I believe, technically double as a type of funnel. Don't remember, though. So don't quote me on that. Oh, no. The shields double as, the, Gian Sword 5 from the 00 Quanta. Which I still don't question Riku's logic in using the 00. The normal 00. If he wants to use things like Transam and the like, you need a booster on the 00. One. Obviously, the thing is, if it's built well enough, it doesn't need that, obviously, so there is a caveat. Oh. Did I mention I hate the D parts because they tend not to work right? or the slit parts because they tend not to work right? And with that, I don't need that anymore because this is done. Oh. Yeah, that piece is actually a little... is the ball joint loose? Oh, it is. I'm like, why is he leaning? He's leaning weirdly for the kit. Map! I have enough transformed kits. I kind of want this guy to not be transformed. But I said DOS rifle next, so we're doing the DOS rifle next. Even if I have to flip through countless pages to find it. A20 and 19. I forgot this existed. Okay, the DOS rifle requires J. I was about to say 6 again, twice. 9. D37. D39, and a certain extra piece thing known as Sticker 6. Sticker 6 is a giant sight piece on the bottom, but I assume it's actually supposed to be the camera when it's in when it's transformed. It is a foil sticker as far as I'm aware. Oops. Yep, it is a giant square foil sticker piece. Remember when I said we had stickers? Is essentially when that happened. 39 just goes on the back end of the rifle. Oh. That's actually a not hard spot to get to currently. Seriously? Okay, it's on mostly correct. I don't care. I got on mostly correctly. I don't care anymore. Oh, I forgot 6, 36 for the shields, which is just which can only go on one shield, but that is the, connection point to the back of the arm. .40 goes into the back because that is part of the transformation pieces. The line is up in the back of this piece. And then I need K1 again. Yeah, that's K1. And you need 14 in before 15. Unfortunately, no second rifle. And okay, so it goes here. Sorry, there's not like music. I don't like really listening to music all that often when doing things like building. That's a lie. But anyways, as I said, J9 goes where on here? Oh, you put it into K16. K16 obviously being the top of the rifle. I mean, technically, right as you have it right now, if you left it alone, you'd have the normal DOS rifle, technically. Cut out cleanly of K20. Okay. Okay, let's do the stickers first, then put that in, because you're not going to get the stickers on afterwards. If you're wondering what I mean. The J9 will block the extra portions of the rifle. Oh. Oops. I might have put it on wrong. Yeah, I put it on wrong. There we go. course, it likes doing it the opposite side. The 4 was done the correct way, but 5 was not for its side. Not like it's a rhombus where it's the same on both sides. It's a parallelogram. It's not. Oh, and then I need K13 as well as K21. This is a part you can easily break, so I'd suggest not. Okay, big side goes down onto the rifle top piece. But at this point, I've used up the entirety of the sticker sheet. At least of what I will use for the sticker sheet. So that's all trash. And then my last piece is for the rifle is 13. If I'm using the rifle in this mode, I need the oh, shoot. Shoot. Wrong way. The singular point goes out back. And then I need 20. Which is the last thing on this specific runner. And the reason why it needs you to cut it out cleanly is due to the fact that it's a push down tab piece for this hole that you just messed with. And with that, the DOS rifle just then slots into his hand like so. Oh. The piece is supposed to close in after he has it in his hand. Oops. I didn't realize that. And that is about... Ow. Staring myself with the dang nippers. And that is it for K1. I have enough time. Yeah, I probably do. Oh. Where did D go? Before I forget this again. This is D36. Is the shield I wish to use. Actually, yeah. Slots into the back like so. And then this part will go on the back of the arm when it's done. Built. But, as I talk about the arm, let's go finish arm 2. To the left. Go build the left arm. Which, by the way, leaves us on D. With D15 and D14 again. In fact, I'm going to cut out a couple other parts. I know where they go. At this point. And specifically these ones where I'd say widespread open hand and a fist with no hole in it. Specifically for the right hand for some reason, and for the left hand and not the right hand. And obviously the right hand stays out. I'm cutting everything out at this point because I don't need this. If I don't need the entire runner, which I don't, I will get rid of said runner, get all the extra parts off, and not use said runner. You did not spin off right. I mean, you weren't in a spot where you could really spin off right, but you know. Okay, let's build these these two parts together. I need PC1. I should only have 2 left over, which is good. 15. Slot you in perfectly. There's your cap. 14 will cap. Then I need 11, which I should have one. We'll only have 2 after this left, so good. That's quick. No, I'm gonna just do the bottom, lower, and middle arms first, because at this point I don't care. Get these parts out. At least I have spare parts if I want to make a custom, but then I need to make extra parts for the custom. I actually had parts for all 3, so all the extras, so... That's a spike. That's a spike nub. Which hand had the hole in it? The widespread open hand. The only thing I won't do tonight is panel line at this point. At this point we should be fine on panel lines. And technically if I wanted to, I could put the second shield on. I do have a part that would work, because I have the the Zeta. It has the exact same point of inflection piece that this. Actually, it's actually loose on this machine. Surprisingly, it's actually loose on the Shigeru shield, and that shield never wants to stay together. 8 is almost done. Let me get these stupid beam sabers off. Though I don't think you actually store these ones on this machine, surprisingly. you might. There is a slightly big enough piece on the back. Nope, I already took the beam sabers off. Now I no longer need it. Damn it. Sorry for the amount of cursing I'm doing, but when something like that happens, I have a tendency to curse. But A is fully cut out and no longer needed. Now, so... Where did K go? Where did I put K2? Oh. Sorry. Let's finish building this. Oh, wait. And J. But those are easy to build. Yeah. Okay, I need PC11. My last PC11, but I need to use to go into the top of U. And then I need the last PC10. I swear getting this PC to move is like molasses. Working with literal molasses. PC5, the only one you actually need to have the thing for. And obviously thing goes outside, other side goes in. Clinch. And then the back piece goes out to the outside, right? Yeah. That way that's done. The rest is clip-on pieces. It's like the rest are just clip-ons. No. And obviously PC1 is the outer piece. Oh, I still need K, but... Oh, shoot. Okay. Might have found the reason why you don't do this in the same thing. I just nearly broke the, that part. And spin that piece off like it's a diamond. And then skewer myself again with the, nippers because I like doing that to myself. Skewer, skewer, skewer. Skewer until the work is done. Okay. Now we're on the last two runners. Polycaps are done. I don't need them anymore. And then it just clips onto the back of the hand like so. There we go. Arm is essentially done. Let's tilt that up a little. Okay. It's 5, right? Yeah. 5, 1, 2. Oh, wait. That's the wrong way. Oh, shoot. uh, oh, come on. Seriously? I might need to switch that piece back in. That's the hand crooked. All the things that could be crooked, it's the dang hand. Let's see where these go in about 2 seconds. But, anyways. Ah. Oh, shoot. It's alright, 10:22. Shoot. Um. Essentially, this is the last part, and then I'm done. Last parts, and I'm done. There's nothing else after this set of B fins, so F funnels. So yeah, I did it out of order. For that one, and then this one has a correct order. No. Sorry for hitting the thing again and not turning off everything for that. And there we go. That is the completed. That's everything in the box that's completed, other than the beam sabers. I'm not going to transform it currently. Yep, I thought it went back here. They actually just slot into the two holsters. I don't know if this is the Age 2's original design, but it reminds me a lot more of the Kyrios from Gundam 00 in that front. Yeah, that's a... Did I accidentally use a polycap for that one? It's fine if I did, I don't care. That is the completed Age 2 Magnum. Obviously with an extra spare part, but can go somewhere. Actually, do I have a spare? Nope. At least not on the base suit. I don't have an extra 3mm peg. That's the second of my Build Divers kits fully built. I would like to thank anyone who decided to stop in and watch. I know this was kind of boring. It's impromptu for the most part. Just testing the waters to see what I need to fix and all that for this one, because I really do want to do this more often and just haven't been able to. But other than that, we'll see where I go from here for days. I might not even do them anymore after this, so there is that. But there's the H2 and all its age glory, I guess. And that, thank you for watching. Tomorrow is I don't know, I'm probably going to take the day off, but if I do stream tomorrow, it will be a return to some speedrunning practice for Prime 1. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, nothing much else. Thursday, maybe PC day. I'm not sure. That might also be a day off, mainly due to the fact I don't really want to play anything after the couple times where my PC's decided to hate me for trying to stream things at the same time as recording, at the same time as playing them. So we'll see. And that Friday might be Smash, might be Mario Kart, might be Splatoon. Who knows? I have no idea at this point. And that will be at 8 to 10, like tomorrow will be if I stream. And Thursday will be at 2:30 to 4:30. I just knew building a model kit, I'll need more time than what I normally allot myself on Tuesdays at the normal stream time. I typically was streaming at. And these typically, once I stop playing D&D with a group on Mondays at 8 to 10, these will be going to Mondays, with Tuesday being a typical day off unless I, have a game I wish to play that I just picked up recently. But other than that, as I said, not really going to be doing much on days like today. Next week, I will most likely not be streaming on Tuesday. I do not have any plans to do another kit, so that is that. Other than that, though, the following week, definitely not Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, due to work schedule for dogs as a dog sitter. But Saturday, I will be streaming twice, though, this week. I will be doing both Animal Crossing at 2:30 to 4:30. Well, subject to change on which one comes first. I might do Animal Crossing first, I might do Animal Crossing second. But the other game I'm streaming will be a leveling run for Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for my playthrough, due to the fact that I'm very low underleveled, and there's a lot of named quests at the point I'm at. So that will most likely be happening, and that's about it for Twitch. Other than that, thank you for watching. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And this obviously came up on Saturday, so at 2:30 today or at 8 will either be Xenoblade and then Animal Crossing, or vice versa. For those watching this raw on today, since it went up. Other than that, thank you for watching. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.